أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. So as we get ready to leave what feels like almost like a Jannah on earth, it's like a snapshot of the hereafter in a sense, obviously a lesser version. We talked about how the way in which the crowds and the pushing and the nafsi attitude is a very small example or a snapshot of the Day of Judgment. Because on the Day of Judgment, that attitude is going to be obviously much more intense, but it's going to be that attitude where people are willing to sacrifice their own relatives, their own children to save themselves. Everyone will be, not everyone, many people will be just focused on themselves, myself, save me. So we are seeing that aspect a little bit, but then we also see the peace. We see the snapshot of Jannah as well. And I think that we have experienced so many of these different layers as we journey through Medina and then here to Mecca. But now we have to go home, right? And home is almost like, leaving this sort of different realm to go to dunya. And I always like to remind myself and others that this similar journey, obviously at a different level, was also taken by our father Adam alayhi salam. Adam alayhi salam, our father and our mother, started off where? In Jannah, right? And Jannah is a perfect world where they are, they don't have to experience things like pain and sickness and loss, and they are with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then Allah sent them down to earth. And this conversation is in the Quran, where Allah tells Adam and Hawa, go down. So there's this leaving of this higher realm, going to this lower realm. The word dunya literally means the lower life. So hayat dunya linguistically, the literal meaning of hayat dunya, haya means life in Arabic, and dunya means the lower one. So we have two lives. We have hayat dunya and we have al-akhirah, right? And akhirah is actually referred to in the Quran as al-hayawan, which in Arabic means it's like the exaggerated version of the word life. So if you think about it this way, there's a greater life and then there's a lower life. We are currently in the lower life, which is hayat dunya, the lower world, the lower life. So like Adam, we are kind of leaving this realm, which is obviously a more sacred realm, and it's a day which is revolving around the salah. I want you to also reflect on what that means and what that looks like. When you're going to have an appointment, when you have a meeting like we meet here, we don't talk about time. When you're meeting for the bus, we really don't talk about time anymore. We talk about what? Before salah or after salah. We say we're going to meet after Asr, or we're going to meet after Maghrib, or we're going to do something between Maghrib and Isha. Do you see the mindset is your schedule is completely different than it is in, normally your schedule becomes literally as it should be, which is revolving around the salah. So whenever we come here, it's a good practice to shift our own schedule. That our schedule is not, at 5 o'clock I have this, at 12 o'clock I have a meeting, at 3 o'clock I gotta take my kid here. And then if and when I have time, I pray, right? In between my actual pillars. See, the problem is that in the way that many of us live, is that the pillars of our day are our dunya appointments. When we come here, it flips. And the pillars of our day become our divine appointments, which are Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. And that really trains us to how we should be throughout our life. Our life is supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be, no, there's Fajr, and then everything goes around that. Not my sleep first, Fajr second. Do you see the difference? It's Fajr first, my sleep second. Whether or not you got enough sleep, whether or not you're tired, whether or not you're sick, you get up for Fajr here, don't you? Yes or no? Fajr is the pillar, and everything else goes around it. Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, same thing. Whether or not you're shopping at the mall, literally there's a mall right outside. But when it's Salah time, the shopping is secondary and Salah is first. Are you understanding the point, the lesson? This is training for our life. And no, do not go with the mindset, oh, that's only here. No, it's not. That's how we're supposed to be living our life. And it's absolutely feasible. It's absolutely possible, and it should be the way we live our life in our mundane, right? So I'm gonna cook dinner after I pray Maghrib. I'm gonna, do this with my child before or after this Salah. So it's number one is changing the mindset when you go back home that your day revolves around the pillars of Salah.